And I'm being joined on the program by the Chairman, House Committee on Customs, Mr. Leke Abejide. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Mr. Abejide, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for coming through, because I know that we had to pull you out of plenary. So let's see how we can have as concise conversation as possible so you can get back to plenary. But let's begin with what's been happening across the country. Just yesterday, we saw the hunger protest in Ibadan. That was preceded by the ones in Lokoja, Mina, Suleja, Kano, and in Sokoto, and some other places. What's your immediate reaction to some of this development occasioned by the economic policy of the federal government?
Well, thank you so much. The issue of demonstration on hunger and whatever, and blaming the current president is very unfortunate. As at the time this president took over in May 29, all the farmers, they were already expecting harvest. They have finished the planting season. Even, especially yam, was also matured for harvest as at that time. Corn, or that maize, was also, in fact, we started harvesting maize. We started eating it as at May 29. So beans and all other farm produce were already matured in the farm. So you cannot blame him for that. It is a mistake of the administration before him. There is nothing he can do now except the plan that is on ground to start doing dry season farming, which is going to be his own first program. And the first budget he is going to implement was just passed. The beginning of this year was signed first day of this year, and the implementation has not even fully started because 2023 budget is still running to 31st March 2024. So I appreciate what the government is doing, and I also pity the masses who are suffering. But what I want to say is just to appeal to our people that this government cannot do any magic now, except it is given some time to correct the wrongs. And even when you correct the wrongs, the profit or the fruit or the low-hanging fruit cannot come immediately. There is nothing he can do now than what he's doing, than maybe assist the state government. And the state government have been given a lot of money. The allocation has doubled. They need to come out to assist the federal government so that the people in their state can feel the impact. If we are just looking on to the federal government alone cannot solve this problem. And even though it's going to solve the problem, it's not now. It is still going to take like 6 months. This I can tell you. So people are protesting as if this current president was the one that was there when planting season of last year took place. Not at all. Let us reason.
Are you saying that
somebody else that was there who's supposed to have encouraged the farmers and for us to have a bumper harvest by now?
Honorable Abejide,
so
are you saying
there's nothing we can do now than the palliative that the government has for the masses? That's
okay, Honorable Abejide, if I may button, I think there's a consensus as to the fact that all the leading candidates in the last election had agreed, most of them, that they will remove the subsidy. So the challenge and the argument right now is how and the management of the process. Couldn't it have been done in a better way so that even though the people will feel the pain, which is necessary for this kind of reforms, it wouldn't have been as bad as this?
Yes, I agreed. All the candidates then said they will remove subsidy. And this president came the first day and said the subsidy is gone. Because there was no provision in the budget of 2023 for subsidy. But if you look at it, somebody, I was watching another statement in PoliticsToday program yesterday. He was saying he doesn't know where the money saved from the subsidy removal has gone. Can't he see that allocation to the state has been doubled. This is where the money has gone. It is now the state government that's to complement the federal government to make sure the money that is being given to them is being spent for the citizens of their states.
So the big question, Honorable Abejide, if I may butt in,
so that we want to deceive ourselves. Let me land.
Okay.
Except we want to deceive ourselves. I have been in Abuja, now going to 8 years. I have never seen Abuja transform like this. You can come here and see what is happening on the roads in Abuja. The roads that have been abandoned for years. Now they are being done. Everywhere in Abuja you can see roads. And not only in Abuja, in many places in the country.
Honorable Abejide, why I was butting in...
But as I said, the problem we are facing now in this country needs time.
All right, why I was butting in is because we don't have so much time. So I want to take as many questions as possible. So quick one. Now you're saying the allocation has increased. As we know, FAC has increased. Loads of money going across to the state. In specifics, what do you expect the states to do? Because they are listening. Because everybody's trying to look for solution. People are saying short-term palliatives. This stopgap, this ad hoc measure is unsustainable. It will move the needle. So if you were to advise your state governor, Usman Ododo, or other governors, now your monies have increased, what exactly should they be channeling the monies to impact the people and cushion the impact of this hardship?
Because of the...
Go ahead, please.
I cannot hear the last part of his question. Okay.
Did you hear what I said?
Measure, people are hungry. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me? Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
Part of your question that what advice would I give to state governor, especially my governor in Kogi State? Now that the allocation has doubled, it is expected that the salaries of the workers in the state is increased because of the inflation. You know, during inflation period, the fixed salary earner suffers. They suffer more because their salary has not increased and the prices of items in the market are increasing daily. So definitely, there's need, out of this increment in their allocation, there's need to increase the salary of these local government workers who are in the majority. There is need to increase the salaries of the state workers as well. And then also make provisions for the households that you know that are vulnerable in your state with this money. Because now, even though you say, okay, you want to go to farm, you can't plant today, it will mature today, and then you start reaping today. So therefore, before the period that we will go into mechanized farming, this is what I expected the state government to be doing. So, and again, more importantly, what we are having, the problem we are having now is issue of food. So every state government now should have farm settlements where they will cultivate arable crops. That is crop that can mature within a year, that can feed their citizens. Like they can cultivate corn, which can be used for so many things, sesame seed, millet, yam even, cassava. These are things that I expect state government to be preparing to get against future occurrence of this type of nature. So out of the abundance of money going to them, they should start thinking this way. That's the only way out. Food importation will not help us.
Okay. All right, let's now come to the committee you chair, which is the customs in the House. So let's talk about some of the concerns we're having as well, which affects our revenue, because if things are smuggled across border, it also affects how much we ramp up as a nation in terms of revenue. Our borders, they are quite porous. What is the House doing to ensure that as we get into 2024 further and through this administration, this idea, this notion that this statement we always make about border being porous begins to be a thing of the past? It's what enforcement, what policies are being brought into play to ensure that we secure our border so that we don't have these smugglers, messing things up for our economy.
Yeah, thank you. I will answer that question, but let me see this. And the issue of importation and the issue of changing of exchange rate in the system, I moved a motion last week. And then by this week, when the vote and proceeding is out, we will write to CBN governor, we will write to Minister of Finance, we write to Customs General of Customs, they will come to us. What I expect, I'm an economist myself, what I expect is that there is to peg the exchange rate for custom duty in the system. This will help us to reduce this galloping inflation and people that are changing prices every day in the market. Then coming to the porous borders, in Ninth Assembly, we were planning for what they call e-custom, modernization of customs. That is, custom will now deploy drones, artificial intelligence, to border areas where human beings cannot access, so that they will monitor the activities of smugglers and see them coming in. Even before they come in, they will see them, and they know how to get them arrested. So this, without deploying technology into this, I don't think we can go anywhere. And part of those things that customs needs are still pending in 2023 budget. It's part of what I'm telling Controller General of Customs. There's need for you to get this thing implemented. And some of these obstacles they are having is in their new act, whereby it gave them, because of the sensitive nature of their job, it gave them power to superintend over some of their projects so that they can do it faster and help us block all these leakages. But as I talk to you, some of those items have not been approved. It's still there in the 2023 budget. So they are not getting their funding easily implemented. And part of the problem is they have to go to Ministry of Justice for agreement. They have to do that. So there's so much of bureaucracies blocking them. But in their own little way, they are doing it. Another thing they can do is to deploy scanners into all these border stations. Before we have them being managed by Cotetna. So even though if you are smuggling arms and you conceal it, the scanner will show you that this you have in your luggage, and they will pull it down. But ordinary eye, naked eyes cannot get all this. So this is the problem we are facing in customs, and I pray it will be done with speed.
Honorable Lekki Abejide is the chairman, House Committee on Customs. I wanted to have your take on a particular issue, but we're totally out of time, which was a proposal by Olisa Gbakoba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. If you can answer it in 30 seconds, if you can answer it in 30 seconds, in trying to stop leakages in our system, which is part of the corruption we deal with, Olisa Gbakoba, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has proposed that we should ensure that all MDAs and all parastatals of government should stop collecting revenue, and it should be domiciled with a new creation called the National Revenue Agency. NIMASA, Customs, everybody should stop collecting revenue. Do you agree? 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't agree with that of Customs. I don't agree with that of Customs. You see, to collect the custom revenue, you need to train an expert. You know, before you can know the tariff and get to know how it operates, it takes very long time. If you just bring ordinary, it happened before during Abacha time, when they brought an accounting firm to be doing that for custom and other agencies, but they failed. So custom are specially trained for trade facilitation and revenue collection. So, and some of this revenue, you cannot collect it with ease. Some of them, you have to use force. Some of them, you have to know, those people that are smuggling, they know the way they do it, but it's only custom that can understand the terrain and know how to get the revenue back to government.
I must thank you so much, Lekki Abejide, the Chairman, House Committee on Customs. Thank you for keeping to time. And I appreciate your coming out to plenary so we can allow you to go back to plenary to contribute to national development. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.